Extraordinary Claims, Ordinary Standards, a scientific examination of Bob Lazar. Good evening. Tonight we will examine the public scientific claims of Bob Lazar, not from the standpoint of belief or disbelief, but from the standpoint of science itself. Science does not advance by secrecy, charisma, or confidence. It advances by clarity, consistency, and coherence with what we already know. Unless a new idea clearly explains why the old framework fails and how the new one replaces it, this distinction matters. When Isaac Newton described gravity, he did not destroy prior knowledge, he organized it. When Albert Einstein challenged Newton, he did not ignore Newtonian physics, he mastered it, identified its limits, and showed precisely where a new theory was required. Bob Lazar claims to challenge modern physics in a similarly revolutionary way. The question is not whether his claims are strange. The question is whether his understanding of physics rises to the level required to overturn it. Tonight, we will see that it does not. Part 1. How scientific revolutions actually happen. Let us begin with a crucial point. Scientific revolutions do not come from ignorance of existing science. They come from deep fluency in it. Einstein did not say, Newton was wrong. He said, Newton was right, within a specific domain. Newtonian mechanics works extraordinarily well at everyday speeds and scales. Einstein showed that at velocities near the speed of light, or in extreme gravitational fields, Newton's equations become incomplete. Relativity did not discard Newton, it contained him. This pattern repeats throughout scientific history. Quantum mechanics did not abolish classical mechanics. It explained why classical mechanics fails at atomic scales. The hallmark of genuine scientific insight is this. You know exactly where your theory fits and exactly where the old one breaks. Now let us ask, does Bob Lazar demonstrate this level of understanding? Check. Part 2. Lazar's central claim, gravity as a wave. One of Bob Lazar's most repeated claims is that gravity is not a force but a wave, or more specifically that gravity can be generated, focused, or amplified using a mysterious substance called element 115. This immediately reveals a misunderstanding. Modern physics already understands gravity in two distinct frameworks. 1. General relativity, where gravity is not a force at all, but the curvature of space-time. 2. Quantum field theory, where physicists attempt, so far unsuccessfully, to describe gravity in particle terms. Bob Lazar does not engage meaningfully with either. He speaks of gravity as if physicists still believe it is a simple Newtonian force, something pulling objects together like an invisible rope. That is a century out of date. Einstein resolved that misunderstanding in 1915. If Lazar were proposing a new theory of gravity, we would expect him to explain how space-time curvature is wrong or incomplete, why general relativity fails under specific conditions, what new equations replace Einstein's field equations. He does none of this. Instead, he speaks in metaphors, gravity amplifiers, gravity waves as propulsion, without mathematical structure, predictive power, or internal consistency. That is not revolutionary physics. That is pre-relativistic thinking with futuristic vocabulary. Part 3. Element 115 and the misuse of nuclear physics. Let us turn to element 115, now officially known as moscovium. Bob Lazar claimed this element possesses extraordinary stable properties that allow it to generate gravity waves when bombarded with protons. Here is the problem. Modern nuclear physics does not treat atomic elements as magical objects with hidden modes of operation. Their behavior is governed by proton number, neutron number, nuclear binding energy, decay pathways. Lazar speaks as if stability alone implies exotic gravitational effects. It does not. Even if a hypothetical island of stability exists, and physicists do believe it might, it would mean longer half-lives, not gravity control. More importantly, Lazar never explains why this element violates known nuclear models, how it bypasses conservation laws, why its effects cannot be replicated or simulated. Einstein did not say, "This mass does strange things." He said, "Here are the equations. Test them." Lazar gives us no equations, only outcomes. That is not how physics speaks. Part 4. Technology without infrastructure. Another revealing gap in Lazar's story is his portrayal of advanced technology as isolated miracles. He describes alien spacecraft as if they exist outside engineering reality. No mention of heat dissipation, no discussion of material fatigue, no explanation of control systems, no understanding of energy scaling. In real science, technology is systems all the way down. You cannot have propulsion without energy generation, waste heat removal, structural integrity, control feedback loops. Lazar talks about the effect. The craft moves, but not the constraints. This is the difference between science fiction and engineering. Einstein knew exactly how much energy was required to bend spacetime. Lazar never addresses whether his claims would require energy densities greater than a star. That omission is not mysterious. It is telling. Part 5. Where Lazar differs from genuine scientific dissent. There is nothing wrong with challenging mainstream science, but there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. Real scientific dissent engages directly with existing models, identifies specific failures, produces testable predictions, accepts the burden of proof. Bob Lazar does none of these. Instead, he asks the audience to accept secret knowledge, unverifiable materials, missing data, and misunderstood physics. This is not how Einstein spoke. This is not how Galileo spoke. This is not how science has ever spoken. Scientific revolutions are not hidden from understanding. They are illuminated by it. Conclusion: the difference between mystery and misunderstanding. The universe is full of mysteries, but misunderstanding is not one of them. Bob Lazar's claims do not fail because they are extraordinary. They fail because they reveal a lack of fluency in the science they claim to replace. Einstein knew Newton better than Newton's critics. Lazar does not demonstrate comparable understanding of modern physics, and that difference matters. Because science does not ask us to believe, it asks us to understand. And where understanding is absent, skepticism is not cynicism, it is responsibility. Thank you.